Boom covers halftime live game 2 of the Sunday triple header. San Francisco 49ers, Dallas Cowboys, Niners leading 16-7. And I'm going to start off with like the disgruntled wife watching on the couch comment. Greatest jersey combination matchup for television viewing that there could be in the NFL, bar none. Agree or disagree? It's a beautiful looking game, let's be honest.
Oh, the combination of the two teams. We are going to get
hard-hitting analysis everyone's tuned in for.
Yeah, I was going to say we're going to get some hate mail real quick if we keep on talking about this.
It's a beautiful looking game, and it's a beautiful game so far in the first half. If you're a Niners backer, taking them plus 3.5 or plus 3 in the first half, 203 total yards to 110, 6.2 yards per play to just 3.9 for the Cowboys. Niners moving it well, combination of Ayuk, combination of Deebo Samuel doing it all. What are you seeing with this Niners offense with Jimmy G keeping it safe so far?
Yeah, the combination of average receivers with great play calling and misdirection and giving them time. The windows, let's get the lines up when we have them, but I got some, some further analysis in regards to what I see, the passing windows that play action is giving. That when you have play action, we know it buys more time for the quarterback. One thing people don't realize is those windows are a lot bigger for defensive backs, and the reality is Dallas doesn't have great cover guys. Those windows are getting exposed, but we'll talk about that here in a sec.
We're looking at Cowboys minus 5.5, total 26.5. Vig shaded to the Cowboys as well as the under. You were pretty antsy to get something in early coming in. What are you thinking of it?
It's a right now click for me. I'm taking the Niners plus 5.5 second half. Absolutely no doubt about it. I thought it was going to be 4.5 or 5.5. I'm taking it right now. Absolutely.
Taking it now, or are you going to wait for like 4 to 5 minutes to see if this goes up to a 6? I feel like people watching out there might have a 6 available somewhere, but you're confident at 5.5?
Yeah, I'm going to take a look here quickly. Yeah. I'll take 5.5, and obviously I'll keep looking for 6s as we talk this thing out, Adam.
All right, so you were saying that those windows were being exposed. The Cowboys do not have great cover corners. They've got playmaking corners who have benefited from a lot of interceptions, which we know it's getting interceptions is not something sustainable. Coverage down to down sustainable.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all the pre-snap motion too, isn't it?
There's a 6 right there. Yeah. So yeah, there are some. You're right. There's some 6s. Make that a 6. I just put it locked in at 6. I'm sure they're out there. So fellas can move that to 6. We don't want 5.5 because we want to get winners. So get a 6 out there. But look, the
pre-snap motion.
Yeah, so the residual effects of I hate it's such an over talked about thing. Kyle Shanahan's run game, all this, but he gives you a lot of eye candy before the snap. So whether it's IU coming in motion, whether it's Deebo, with all that stuff, it's making those athletes on the defensive line for the Cowboys not as athletic, and it's making them look at a lot of things. So the residual effect is Dan Quinn is going to adjust now and make calls that get those guys upfield. That's all he could do. He sees his guys are a step slow. Get them upfield, which is going to mean more blitzing, getting his defensive line and linebackers upfield, more blitzing, more man coverage. What's that mean, Adam? Those guys in the back, your Cam Lewis, your Brown, these guys are going to be in man coverage more in the second half. And I didn't say Diggs because me and you disagree. I think Diggs has been terrible in coverage. I think he's a talented enough guy to hold up. We'll save that for another conversation. He's a talented enough guy to hold up out there. Those other guys aren't talented enough to hold up. So Dan Quinn now getting his pass rushers and his outside backers moving forward, bigger windows, and I think that even average receivers for the Niners are going to take advantage of that in the second half, and 6 is too big. I'm taking the Niners.
Let me ask you about this, because we know Shanahan's play calling style, the type of routes, the passing patterns that he likes to target. Like you're talking about, these guys are going to be getting upfield. There's more aggressiveness. Can Shanahan not very easily play off of that and either have the dump screen passes or potentially find Kittle for the first time over the middle behind those linebackers that might be playing up? To me, maybe even from a prop perspective, there might be something to those receiving running backs in San Francisco based off of what you said. Does that make sense?
Great point. The Cowboys, here's the thing. The Cowboys can't win this game if they don't get aggressive and stop the run. So meaning when I say aggressive, I mean they can't be a step slow. Right now, they're a step slow trying to react to all the motion and all the eye candy they're getting. So they're gonna have to be aggressive, get upfield, and those gaps are gonna be big. Those windows, to your point, to Kittle, to Ayuk and Debo on crossers, deep overs, they're gonna be open. And then if you get ISOs on the outside, you're getting Lewis in coverage out there. Lewis can't cover. He's a nickel safety guy. He can't cover. And either kid, Anthony Brown, is one of the worst guys in coverage as well. So this is a big number for a team that can control the ball, control the clock in the run game, and get what they want in play action.
Now, you said a comment that I think is going to cause a little bit of a stir for people watching. When you said average receivers, you were not talking about Debo Samuel nor Brandon Ayuk. You were bringing up Travis Benjamin, Kyle Juszczyk, Juwan Jennings, those guys, those secondary receivers off of it.
No, I'm talking about Ayuk and Debo Samuel. Hey, no, I'm not talking about. We're not talking production. This is not a production thing. This is a guys running routes, separating, isolation stuff. I'm talking about down the field coverage, isolation guys. You look around the league, these guys put up numbers. But if you're talking about guys who just purely run routes, you can go across every team in the league and throw a lot of great receivers out there in this system that will put up numbers. Debo does a lot of things. I'm talking purely outside running routes here. So I'm a big fan of Debo, but I'm just talking about route running.
I took a jab at Gardner Minshew and got everybody stirred up just a little bit. Now you're taking jabs at Brandon Ayuk and Debo Samuel. I pray for your Twitter and your mentions.
If they're not talking bad about you, you're not saying nothing. So there it is.
All right, so the pick that you have locked in, San Francisco 49ers +6 for the second half. I am intrigued with the potential for props on Elijah Mitchell receiving. I don't know what number they're ultimately hanging. I haven't been able to pull it up on my screen. I've got the wife watching who helps me out with some of the wagers, but that is one that might be tricky for her to find, but also one that I'm going to be rushing to try see, because I think, like you mentioned, you're going to get those guys upfield, leaves potential for the dump over the heads of that screen pass. The best weight in the gate, pressure, screen passes, and a little bit of tempo. I don't know if we see them go tempo with the score as it is, but I think those screen plays definitely going to be in play. I want to ask you, before we send everyone back to the couch for the second half, when it comes to what you're seeing on the other side, the Cowboys so far, a little bit lackluster offensively. The Niners secondary worries me, but just 3.9 yards per play for Dallas. What's going on there?
Yeah, the Niners secondary worries me too, for sure. But I mean, I would say the offensive line has been an issue for Dallas, and it'd be interesting to see what happens to Bosa here. Obviously, I'm thinking the Bosa's coming back. He wasn't under. Look, he was walking off, go head into the locker room. I think he's coming back. If he's not out there, obviously I don't like this bet as much, but it's locked in. But I still like it. I'm gonna ask you, and I'll say this before I go back: Debo Samuel and Ayuk. I didn't say these guys aren't good receivers, or I don't like them.
You can't backtrack.
Saying,
no.
I'm not retracting anything. I'm saying these guys are average receivers. We're talking about route running receivers in the National Football League of 32 teams. Their average route runners is a whole lot of damn good athletes and receivers out there. Let's just be clear on that. All the other stuff these guys do in the run game and being a Swiss Army knife, that's a different story. How about you? Because are you on the same play? What do you have? Do you have a play here, or what are you doing?
I am sitting on San Francisco +4 for the game.
They want to know what you say.
Well, I'm sitting on San Francisco pregame on the spread, so I'm not running to potentially add on some more here, although there's no way I'm betting Dallas second half. This number is as inflated as you're going to get. It's the Cowboys who were bet up before the game. It's the middle game of the NFL playoff Sunday. It's the Cowboys at home. It's the comeback, which naturally leads people to going and betting on the trailing team. And you add in everything with the Cowboys, how they're going to be able to throw the football. This number, if you're betting on the Cowboys second half, it's as big of a premium as you're going to play. So I'm not intrigued there to take it.
So I will add this as my closing statement. All the misdirections, all the thing that you're seeing in the Niners run game that has Dallas defense off balance. How many possessions is Dallas going to get in the second half with the fact that Niners are going to be able to control the ball at least something? I mean, they're going to get a lot of possessions. It's going to be really tough. Dallas going to score every time they touch the ball in order to win the game.
I think we'll probably see a 5th possession for Dallas sometime late in the 4th quarter.
Yep.
But if, like you said, yeah, it's a big number to cover.
I like this play. I like this play a lot.
San Francisco second half +6 is the bet. He is Davis Sanchez. I'm Adam Chernoff. We'll be back with you. Chiefs, Steelers, Sunday Night Football in about 3 hours time. Let's see some Niners get some points.